Hello, hello, hello. Um, I just want to greet you this Sunday's Best by saying you are simply the best, simply the best. After celebrating 36 years in real estate, I got many, many, many well wishes and congratulations, and I appreciate them all because, like I said, you are simply the best. All right, so welcome to another session, and I hope that you brought someone on with you tonight. Last week we had a great time, and I think Monday or Tuesday when we announced the winners, some of you are feeling even better. Last week we talked about, we talked about everybody should dream and that there are three types of life you can live. One of them is you can live your life sinking, you can live your life surviving, or you can live your life surviving, thriving. So that's either sinking, surviving, or thriving. And tonight, our session, after we do the review, it's going to be some things that you're going to have to embrace in order to thrive. Okay? Mediocre. You weren't created to be just average. You weren't created to use 50% of your gifts and expect to get 100% results, 100% success. So what is it? What makes the difference? We all have different gifts, and those gifts can help us to rise to the top. Because you know what? It's rise time. It's rise time. It's time to manifest. It's time for your gifts to make room for you. And when you are likable, when you get to walk into a room and change the room, then things will begin to manifest for you. The favor of God increases and your value increases as you use your gifts. So we talked about the best way to do life is in excellence. Excellence. Not do it just enough to say I did it or I got by with that or that'll suffice. Operate in excellence. And you know how you do that? You have to have ego traits. You have to know how to rise above the storm because life is not going to be a bowl of cherries every day. I know that. There are going to be obstacles. There are going to be hurdles that you have to jump over. It's going to be time when you have to play team. You have to pass the baton, and it has to go to the person who can carry you across the finish line. But in order to do any of that, you got to be in the game. Are you in the game? Last week, we talked about the fact that your character and your reputation, you have to have a track record that speaks loudly for you when you're not even in the room. Make it hard for people. People are going to find something bad to say about you, but make it hard for them. Make them talk while you're experiencing your greatness. So another thing we talked about last week is stop settling. Stop putting yourself on the clearance rack. Don't allow other people to establish your value, and certainly don't let them diminish your value. Your integrity should never be up for sale. So those are some of the ways that you can operate in excellence. And what we said was stop comparing yourself to others. God created you uniquely. And it would be a shame for the rest of the world to suffer because you didn't play all out. You didn't give what was planted into you. So you shorted somebody. including yourself. Because when you don't operate in excellence, when you don't play all out, you don't get all the benefits. Mediocre, that's not good enough. That's not acceptable. Quitting is not acceptable. Hating to be in your own skin is not acceptable, because he knew what you would need. And all you have to do is use what you got to get what you want. So my question, I'm full of questions, is, are you fearless? Lacking fear, the freedom to try. Do you use your tenacity? Do you have it? The ability to grip something so firmly. The quality or the fact of continuing to pursue and persist at any given moment that someone or somebody or even you are put your jeopardy of your success in the wrong place. It needs to almost always be front of mind. What am I good at? What am I looking for? What will success mean to me? What will it look like? And am I willing to fly high? Am I willing to rise? It's rise time. Am I willing to do that? Do I have the vitality, the state of being strong, active, and energetic? The power of not giving up, but continuing to do those things that I know will move me closer to my goal. And lastly, we said, how important is it to you, your goals? And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about goals. How important are your goals to you? Are your goals in front of you every day? I know you all have seen my video of my vision board. I have it right in my office. And if you have a home office, I encourage you to put your goals there. If you don't have a home office, I encourage you to put your goals anywhere. I mean, use index cards. Put them on your mirror in the morning, because you're going to go there to brush your teeth and wash up. And what better way to start your day than making some affirmations and saying to yourself, I'm unstoppable. I'm on track to accomplish great things. I feel powerful. I make a difference. Then brush your teeth. All right? And you might even, that may be a time of a quick prayer. But you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan if you want to perform in excellence. So I went back to a session that I taught one time and some time ago, and success has requirements. You got to want it as bad as you need the air to breathe. And the first thing that we're going to talk about, if you're going to operate in excellence and if you're going to use your gifts, after you identify what your strong gifts are and see how, if you use them, how they could be to your benefit, but how they can also serve out others. We were put here to serve. And if you're not using your gifts, you're not serving as well as you can. You're not the best steward of your time, of your purpose. We have to live on purpose. So the first word is every day. We call it D-Day, daily disciplines. Do you have a set of daily disciplines? I know I do. Do I sometimes forget to do them? Yeah. Do I often? No, I don't often forget to do them. And especially now that I have my vision board in front of me. So you can only reach your destiny if you put in the miles. Are you sitting there just idling, listening to the purr of other people's engine, talking about your dream, but not walking or taking steps toward it? Are you making real progress, mile by mile, step by step, month by month, day by day? Because if you do, if you don't, that's going to make the difference in whether you succeed. Success isn't overnight. I tell people that all the time that ask me, how were you able to stay on top of your game all this long time? Daily discipline, persistence, perseverance, hard work, self-development, wanting to help people, knowing what my purpose is, operating in my purpose. Was it easy? Not always. Was it hard? Yes, it was. Were there benefits? You bet. So daily disciplines are worth doing. Stop just sitting there. Shift your gears. We're in the second quarter. Shift your gears and do the daily disciplines. Characteristics of successful people. Number one, they set goals. Characteristics of the wealthy, they set goals, and we're going to talk about a few of those. A positive attitude, being proactive, action-oriented, seldom making excuses, having an open mind, possessing a strong desire to succeed. All of these are characteristics of successful people. They surround themselves with other successful people, people who are going in the same direction, may not have the same goal or the same destination, but they have discipline. They have written goals. They are people that you should follow. Build up success and learn from your failures. It's been said, either I win or I learn, but I don't lose. So have your faith, but you got to work it. The power of a goal. Do you know how important a goal is? I mean, if you really knew how important it was to your success, you would not be sitting around letting your life go in any direction that the wind blows in. You would actually be steering your ship. And a few of the things that you would have in your tool or toolkit. Number one, these are the three motivators. You got to have something to motivate you. Discipline. What is discipline? Are you disciplined? Do you practice daily disciplines in some form or another? At home, in your career, in your relationships? Are you disciplined? It's a controlled set of activities. Discipline can be training someone to obey rules. I mean, that's what they do with pets. That's what we do with our children. And we have to create that same type of discipline in our daily operation if we want to be better than average, better than most, if we want to be the expert, if we want to be at the top of our game, if we want to operate in excellence, we have to be disciplined. Another tool, another key that should motivate you is consistently. It's a pattern. It's just as easy to develop a good pattern as it is a bad. All right, so if you are consistent in doing something, you have a pattern. People can probably say, well, I won't call her at this time because she's probably doing this, that, or the other. Or he will come at just about 10 minutes before the event. Or He's known to be early. So we need to be prepared. If you know that a person is disciplined, they have a consistent pattern over a period of time, you can almost depend on them. You can depend on them to do their part, to show up. Now, the last one is perseverance. You got to be persistent in doing something despite the obstacles or delays in success being realized. Like I said, success is not an overnight thing. Very few people become successful without having goals, without being disciplined, without being consistent, and without having perseverance. So I ask, what do these three things have to do with goals, with your goals? How often do you look at your goals? Or do you look at them so seldom that you have to blow the dust off them to read them? That's not good. Are you conforming to behavior that will help you reach that goal or realize that dream? Or are you thinking that somebody's going to do that for you too? You want to get in your head every single day before someone else does. Before they have a plan for you, you need to have a plan for you. So if that means you got to look in the mirror in the morning, read the index cards and say, I am powerful, I have a purpose, I operate in excellence, I'm a door opener, I'm an influencer, I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, I'm working hard, and I believe that payday is coming after a while. These are affirmations that you can say early in the morning, early in the morning. You can even incorporate them into your daily prayer. So when you face obstacles and you know where you're going, you got your path mapped out, it's much easier for you to have a steadfast attitude. It's much easier for you to stand firm and not cave in. So, are you able to handle that? You're only going to be able to handle that if you are exercising the disciplines that we talked about. The major difference that is between the top 3% of the haves and the bottom 97% of the have-nots are the people that have written goals and do the three things that I just said, that they are disciplined, that they are persistent, and they are consistent. The next 10% of people, they have their goals in mind. 10% of people have their goals in mind, but not on paper. Ladies and gentlemen, it's better to have written goals, even if you miss it by this much. It's measurable. And good goals or great goals, I'll tell you about those, but here's what happens when you have great goals. They're called SMART goals. The S is specific and written. The M is measurable, progress, and then completion. Rome wasn't built in a day. So you have to measure whether you're making progress. That makes anybody feel really good when they can say, I had 10 things to do and I've checked off 7. The A is for achievable outcome. Dream big, but be realistic. The R is for realistic in time and skill. What skills do you need to complete your goal? What's your time frame for your goal? The T is time-based achievement. So whatever you vividly imagine, whatever you desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon, they will eventually become true. Your dreams will come true, but you got to work at it, okay? Now, the symptoms of people without goals. Now, you don't want to identify with all of these. People without goals feel like they're in a rut all the time. They feel frustrated by the lack of their growth. They get caught up in the worries of the day. In some verse in the Bible, it says, a person that says, give an excuse for not going out to work. They said, there's a lion out there. He's going to eat me up if I go out. That's the coward way out. Cowardly thoughts. There's a lion out there. And so people get caught up in their own mind, their own thinking, and they block their success because they don't take any action. Another symptoms of people without goals are they have no purpose in their daily activities. They just go through life. They just go through their day. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not in control. Yes, you are in control of some things. Not everything, but you're in control of you. You are the driver of you. The symptoms of people without goals lack motivation and they lack energy. They lack motivation and they lack energy. So if you identify with any of those, try to do better. We're in the second quarter. Like I said, the pandemic can be an excuse or it can be a motivator. Mindset. It can be an excuse. It could be that year are those 2 or 3 years that set me back. Are those 2 or 3 years that made me examine myself, find myself, and talk to myself, and prove to myself and to the world that I can operate in excellence. So downtime doesn't mean you don't think. It doesn't mean you don't plan. It certainly doesn't mean you're going to fail. There are going to be some winners coming out of this pandemic. In fact, there are people that have birthed a business that is doing extremely well that if you had asked them 5 years ago, they would have said, I work at such and such place. And that was their identity. That was it. But the crisis came. An identity crisis. You either find yourself or you lose yourself. So let's be very clear, precise, and definite about our goals. What is it that we want to accomplish? A few statistics. Wealthy people set goals. Successful people set goals. And I'm going to read just a couple of the 20 things that the wealthy people do every day. And you know, wealthy, we usually think of it in terms of money, but you can be wealthy in other ways as well. But in this particular instance, we are talking about wealth as it relates to financial freedom. It says 70% of the wealthy eat less than 300 junk food calories per day. 97% of poor people eat more than 300 junk food calories a day. Then it says 80% of the wealthy people are focused on accomplishing one single goal, at least one single goal a day. And It says 81% of wealthy parents maintain a to-do list for themselves, and 19% of people who are the have-nots have a list. But 81% of them that are wealthy and that do well, they have a list. So your goal is very, very, very important. Very important. It says 6% of wealthy people watch TV versus 78% of poor people watching a lot of TV. 86% of the wealthy believe in lifelong education, lifelong self-development, versus 5% of the have-nots or the poor people think that education and self-development is important. And it is important. It's very, very, very important. And I'm going to wrap up with this. My friend Gloria Moore sent me something. She said, I read this and I thought of you. But before I read this and before I go and see who we have on tonight, I want to know if you paid yourself. Are you disciplined? Are you consistent? Did perseverance kick in on the emergency fund saving? So make sure that you're paying yourself. And next week, I'll have the chart and tell you exactly where we need to be. Now, next week is Mother's Day. And to those mothers who are on the line, or any other mothers that get on the line, we're going to have another special drawing for a lucky winner. And in order for you to be in the drawing for next week, you have to be on this week and next week. Okay? So I want to see your name. I want to see, as they usually say, I want to see your face in a place. But that's what I'll say. I want to see your face in a place. And as we work toward Mother's Day, mothers are so important. And you know what? Only women can be mothers. Only women can be mothers. All right? So it's time for some things to manifest. If you've had your goals and you've had your dreams and you're hitting that mid 45, like Diamond, my avatar, who has worked on a job, who's figured out that a job is just over broke and that it's not secure and that it's not where she wants to end up and it's not where you want to end up. If you're working a great job and you love it, you're blessed. I work a great business. I'm blessed and I love it. There are days when I said, Lord, this is real REEL estate. I keep going around this mountain over and over. These people keep going around this mountain over and over and over. But you know what? Sooner or later, we get to the top or we get around it. You remember I said, if you want something bad enough, obstacles won't stop you. If you might have to take a detour, you might have to go on a one-way street, but sooner or later you get back on the freeway and you'll end up where you intended if you have smart goals and if you are disciplined and persistent and persevere toward those goals. So it's manifestation time. You got to roll up. It's time to roll up. You got to show up like God sent you there, because it's time for his promises to manifest. You got to walk in the door like he sent you. They say, why are you here? You say, I am sent me and I have a purpose. You got to roll up in the place like you own the place. Walk in there like he told you to go in there and possess the land. Don't let nothing shake you, break you, or deter you from your dream. Don't retreat. Walk up in there. Just roll on up in there. Stand right there until you win. It's time to roll up and show up. And then God will show up. And we'll rise up. And we'll manifest. And we will possess the land. Thank you so much, Gloria. I just added my little touch to it. But you're right. That's the type of stuff that I love. All right, so I thank you all so much for being on. And let me see who we have on tonight. Oops. All right. Let's see. I see Genevieve Burgess. Let me see if I can go a little further back. Genevieve says hello. We have Diane Jackson. The vision board would be a great idea. And we have Renee Williams. Hello, Renee. Gloria Cooper says hello, Sunday's best. Diane Jackson has paid herself. Verona Squire, welcome. Welcome, welcome. This is one of another realtor, and we're doing some coaching together. Jeanette Johnson is another one of my coaching students, and she is also a realtor. Jeanette says, yes, I agree. It's time for me to win. I approve that message, Jeanette. Sandra Bolton is another. Oh, she's the queen of real estate. The Bolton team. She says, good evening, and she's paid herself. Let's see who else we have on here. Rima from Hollywood, Florida. She says, good evening, and she's paid herself. Lavina from Florence. She's paid herself. And Tarlin Millette Tyler was one of our winners, and she said, I would like to make a vision board. That's a great thing. We may get together one day and do that with someone leading us. I've not taught it, but I'm sure we all can contribute. Let's see who else we have on here. All right, that looks like I may not be able to get. Yes, I have. Sophia Bradley says hi. Hello, Sophie. Sandra Bolton, success takes tenacity and stick-to-itiveness, and I totally agree. Jeanette says, I love this. Get into your head before someone else does each day. Hello, Rhonda Jackson. And Rhonda says, dream big. And if that's Diane Jackson's daughter, she's doing big things. She's in one force of the military. I can't remember which one. Maybe the Navy. Andrea Williams, welcome, welcome. Andrea says, using your bucket list as a springboard for setting goals. I agree. Lily James, thank you so much. Lily, I think you may be from the King Street area. Smart goals. Diane says, roll up, show up. I like that. Laquita Gilliard, thank you for joining us. It's been a while. Gloria Cooper says, good night until the next time. Lavina says, very good session. Hello, Bernadette. Christine Shaw, good to see you on, Christine. I hope you're feeling better. And Diane says, Rhonda is in the U.S. Navy. That's her daughter. All right, that's all I can see for now. So I hope I got everybody in. But as always, I will go back and check. Meantime, you just roll on up in there like you own it. When they say, who sent you? We don't have a seat for you. You said, check again, because I am sent me, and I'm going to act like I own it and I belong here. I'll rise up. And that's what I want all of us to do. Rise up. Rise up and operate in excellence. And I have some great news. Great news. I went to do an interview at this Richland County Library back in February, Black History Month. And I don't know if you saw it, but I posted it. There was a stand that they had put like in the center of the room, and it had a collection of Black authors. And Michelle Obama book was on there. And I took a picture, and I visualized that one day my book would be on that stand on Black History Month. And guess what? I got a letter from the library this very week, saying that my book has been added to the collection of authors, local authors for the state of South Carolina. And you know what? I said I was taking it to the next level. I have gotten an opportunity since that, and I'll be telling you more about that as it develops. So, if you don't have a copy of this book, if your mother is about my age and she doesn't have a copy of this book, this would be a great Mother's Day gift, because I identify with a lot of principles that we learned in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s as young parents, as well, first of all, getting out of high school. There's a lot in this book that you can learn. It's not just about real estate, but it will show you how it prepared me to step out, quit a job of 19 years to establish a business. And then I'm here in that business 36 years later with no regrets. So, you never know what God has in store for you. But when you're not prepared for the next, he's going to leave you in the present, in the current. You know, when you ask for more than you can handle, he's like, you ain't ready. You're not using what you got in your hand right now. You're not using what you got in your head right now. You're not using the gifts I equipped you with. So you want to be ready, so that when he gives you a task, and when you look back at it and you said, I did that in excellence, and you want him to say, well done, good and faithful servant. So until next time, have a good night, have a great week, have a great quarter. It's second quarter. You got to get in, you got to show up, you got to be dressed. You don't know when the coach is going to put you in the game. And those who know me know that I plan to win. And I always have a backup plan, because I plan to win. And I want you to have the same type of tenacity. It's your winning season. Have $1 million life, and share this video on your page. And remember, if you want to get the $1 Million Producer, my journey from the cotton field to the Capitol, inbox me your mailing address, and you can pay by Cash App, and I will autograph the book and mail it directly to you. So have $1 million life. I intend to.